Hello guys and welcome back to another video on my channel. This is Sorare Trades and today we'll be talking about the new Cap 220 long format competition, or also known as the Super Cap. So what it is, this is the new, according to Sorare, this is their new long format competition. It'll go live from game week to 427, so this is the coming game week to 434. So what is a long format rule? It will run across 8 game weeks. The top 4 scores of those 8 game weeks will go to your final leaderboard, and you'll just need to submit a team onto Cap 220 to join. So this was like after the Cap 270 long format competition, and now it's going to be the Cap 220 long term format competition. So this is going to be my team to submit into the Cap 220 long format competition, and today we'll be talking about some of the things you must know for this new Cap 220 mode. So for Cap 220, what it is that you have 5 players, and in limited you'll be able to put in 4 limited cards and a common. In rare you'll be able to put in 4 rares and 1 limited, and etc etc. For Cap 220, your L15 of your players must add up to 220 points and or below, and that's pretty much it. It's a more budget-friendly competition in my opinion. This is the team I'm gonna be submitting for this week, and I will show you why I have some of these players in. Okay, so for starters, the first tip that you must know about Cap 220 is to find goalkeepers who will play the next game but have a L15 of 0. This is very useful because you only have a cap of 220, so if you have a 0 you'll be able to put some very strong players, almost treat it like a cap 270 competition, and put players of that capacity when you're only putting cap 220, but that goalkeeper must play. Like, for example, this week I'm going to be using Aaron Ramsdale. So as you can see, Aaron Ramsdale has an L15 of 0 because he's been on the bench due to David Raya, right? But since this week they're playing Brentford, and David Raya is a loanee from Brentford, right? So he cannot play against his mother club. So then I'm guessing is Ramsdale comes into play. Then that's even if he doesn't keep a clean sheet and only gets 35 points, that's still if like these players hit the minimum their L15, I'll still be getting 255, which is still like an acceptable score in Cap 220. Of course, you'll need around 320 to get like 290 to get like a good score, but still you're way much closer. So this is why people like Aaron Ramsdale are like what I'd call a cap cheat code, because they have an L15 of 0, but like they will play, and I think he even has a chance of keeping a clean sheet, which would be 60 points. My second tip to play Cap 220 is kind of similar to my first tip. That is finding cap cheat codes. So here's one of the cheat codes I own. I'm not going to put him in because I already have Ramsdale, so I can put in like a really solid squad. But one good thing about Baptista, right? He has an L15 of 37 but an L5 of 51. This is a really good sign because this shows that he's in form, or like this is what he'll normally get. But why does he have an L15 of 37? Well, that's because he's been injured, as you can see here. So like this is his L15. He's been on the bench and he's starting to start now, which is good, and this is like good scores. So even if he scores a 45, that's still 8 over the cap, which is pretty decent. So finding players like this, who's a cap cheat code, will be a must when putting in a cap 220 squad. So he's less than $1, which is amazing. And if he scores a goal like you here, or 60 or 75 score, that's still over like 20 points over his L15, which will be amazing for your cap 220. He's playing Getafe this week away. It's not an amazing matchup, but it's not a horrible matchup. Talking about my matchups, this is going to be my last tip for the day. It is choose easy matchups. For example, this week West Ham are playing Burnley, who are bottom of the Premier League. So let's say this means that like they'll have an easy game, right? So like players will have high likelihood of keeping possession, making passes, and getting more points generally. So one player I like from West Ham is Emerson. As a cap He's a L15 of 45. That's not very high. That's only 10 over starting score, right? So that's, you start with 35, that's 10 more. But the thing that I really like about Emerson is that he has these abilities to hit these peak 80 scores. If you think about it, if he hits an 80 score, which he has a good chance of doing, especially since it's against Burnley, that's a great score. Of course, he gets those negative all around scores, but that's when he concedes 3 here. He keeps a clean sheet, he gets 50, he concedes 4, negative 12, negative 9, he conceded 3, negative 3, he conceded 3. Okay, this is, I don't know what happened here, but as you can see, so yeah, he might like absolutely ruin your game week lineup, but it's capped to 20, so even if he hits like a score of 28, that's only like 17 less than his cap, his L15, and it's like the points you'll be using to put him in cap to 20. So I think like the upside on him is so much better, with the chance of getting like a player like 80, a point like 87, rather than with the risk of getting a point like 28. One thing you should not do is pick consistent players. For example, here's James Ward-Prowse. He's an amazing player, right? Scores amazing, but the problem with him, he always scores high. So like his L15 is 70. That is crazy high. That's pretty much a decisive with 10 AA points. But what if he blanks? Then he's gonna get a score of like 42. Well, that's your captain 20 ruined, right? Because you're probably gonna be captaining him. He got 20 less than his L15, and yeah, so you'd rather have players with lower L15 who has the potential to peak, because even if they don't peak, they'll just be hitting their L15, rather than players with really high L15s who may have the chance of hitting these hundreds, but also run the risk of hitting these like 40s, which could definitely ruin your game week. So this was it. Just remember, this is not financial advice. Please like and subscribe, and if you want to join, if you're new on Sorare, please use the link in the description to sign up. Thank you.